Hello, and welcome back to Magic City Stress Release Center. And this is episode 3 of Chick Chat, where I have invited Gina, who is graciously accepted to be on the video today. Thank you for coming, Gina.
You're welcome. Anytime.
And so today what we're going to do is I've prepared a reading so you can actually see how my readings actually go from the beginning to the end. And we might throw in some extra stuff. It depends on our time frame today. But our whole focus today was on love. So, yes. And Gina looks so pretty in red because red is the color of love. Yes. So you look gorgeous.
Trying to get into the vibe.
Yes. 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 It's good. So, one thing I always do at the beginning of my readings is before we even start our talk, I've already went and got messages from your team, your guides, and sometimes when I don't know if you have specific ideas, I will just take what they said, which you have gotten those kind of readings, and they always seem to be the messages that come through before we even meet seem to answer the questions you have already wanted answered. So it's always applicable, whatever has come through. But there are times when I know something and we are intending to do this on love. And Gina right now is single. And in the last kind of quick reading that I did, I think that was on love. We weren't going to do it, but it ended up being a loving reading. And I think from what I remember is he's around, you will be introduced by people that you know, and that he's in your orbit. So and I still got that feeling today, but they go into some other details today. So are you ready?
Very.
Okay. So they always address the person that I'm reading for as Gina, or like the name. So Gina, the next 3 words are love, love, love in all capital. So I knew that they were ready for this. Love is in the air, which if you look at the title, that is why I put that there. So much is in the ethers for you. I am going to pause because I know what ethers mean. It's the universe around us. It's our potential. If you follow Abraham Hicks, they call it the vortex. It's just what you're creating in your world by your thoughts, choices, habits, things like that. So for anybody that doesn't know what the ethers are, that's what it is. There's so much in the ethers for you, potentialities. We see this when souls want to be together with a signature they resonate with. And while we have something specific for you, anyone who watches this is something for you as well. Gina, we reiterate a lot of potentialities. So I really did get this feeling. I get multi-layered information. I write the direct message, but there's layers underneath it. There is actually more than one potentiality for you, but they want you to do some things here. But I think there's more than one guy available that potentially could be a partner for you. That is also friends of friends. So still in your orbit, but the potentiality for more than one is there. So you have more than you think. And so we reiterate a lot of potentialities, a lot that resonate with you. And that is actually what attraction is, a resonance to another. So here's the deal. This resonance is in simple terms, recognition and allowance. So when you meet a potential partner, the resonance or attraction will be very strong with someone whose patterns and experiences have similar recognition to you and allowance by you. So let's break it down. The best example of this to explain would be an empath with a narcissistic person, because I think this is one of the most popular coupling that gets talked about a lot. The empath is kind, caring, and very service and help forward. And the reason the narc is attracted to or in resonance for an empath is because the narc feels it's the least that their partner could do for them. It's not common for a narc to be in a relationship with another narcissist, because a narcissist typically would not allow themselves to be treated that way. An empath gets sideswiped by narcissists very easily because an empath sees a need and takes initiative to serve. Now, and then they put this in the parentheses too. When a narcissist first attracts to an empath, they love bomb the empath until they are positive that the empath won't leave.
Mm.
And then the narcissist lets their facade down.
Mm.
And the empath, 6 months into the relationship, goes, "What happened?" And then starts trying to fix it. And why does an empath resonate with a narcissist? Because many empaths were raised in homes with a narcissistic parent. Therefore, they watch their narcissistic parents' behavior be allowed. So now that is in both their experience and their allowance. And here's what we highly suggest doing. Fill out a sheet of paper with things and behaviors that are never to be allowed by you.
Okay.
For example, narcissistic, gaslighting, dishonesty, misusing power, disrespect, on and on and on. Write those first, all the things that you do not want to allow in any relationship. Like these are your draw the lines in the sands.
Right.
And become crystal clear on what you choose not to couple with. Once you do that, this is where you make the magic happen. Create another form of your ideal partner. Kind,
Okay.
helpful, supportive, respectful, acknowledging. Basically, when they were showing it to me or giving me that information, the first list is how you build the second list, but you build the manifestation in the positive. The first list is to find out what you just cannot do, period. The second list is how you build your partner, how you choose it, how you choose them, okay? There's so much that you can add to the list. Keep it in view and read it, adjust it, add to it. So
Okay.
it felt very living. It felt like this is not a one thing. Like, for example, if you want a partner that likes to dance in the kitchen while you cook dinner, put it on the list.
Okay.
Be that specific. If you need somebody to kiss you goodbye in the morning, put that on the list. Anything that means something very special to you, put it on this list. Besides all the loyal, respectful, that. And at the bottom of this list, when you feel it's pretty solid, this is the type of partner I resonate with.
Okay.
And it's an intentional, you're building an intentional in your energy stream, in your field, because only the potential partners that can deliver that then now will be attracted, because the first thing you did was write the things you will not allow.
Right.
So now these are the things you allow. These are the things you resonate with. Even if in the past you have been in a relationship with a narcissist, and maybe it wasn't like that. It was just somebody that didn't fulfill the simple things that you needed, like whatever, maybe they,
narcissist.
and maybe, so let's say for the people that don't have partners that are narcissists, but they have partners that are not affectionate, and affection is their number one love, like the person that wants that's their number one love language. Well, they're not going to feel supported and satisfied in a relationship with no affection. But most likely, either their very first partner was not affectionate and they kept trying to fix it, or their families, what was mirrored to them was not affectionate, because that was what was allowed. So you become resonant with what you acknowledge and what you allow. And so sometimes the allowance is watching. Most of us, our relationships are patterned by our parents. We all know this, right? Like, it's one of the basic things when you're learning this kind of work is a lot of times we always find out what we don't want by that, but then we end up with the exact same we don't want, right? And this is how this is created, because it was allowed in their relationship. So it's just in your field. And so this process helps take the stuff that you don't want out, because you're not going to resonate with it or allow it anymore.
Good.
Now, of course, you'll never add everything to this list. However, this can be a growing list, an adjustable one. Okay. I mean, there's going to be core tenets of it that you just are not. You want someone honest, reliable, supportive. Like, there is nothing in that list like that you don't want. But like for me, kindness is important. I don't want to be with a Karen, someone who rages or, I want my partner to be kind and respectful when they're out in public and stuff, that kind of thing. Right.
I find that, sorry, don't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
I find that very interesting that that it's a livable, a living list, that it evolves and it grows, because there's this thing in our community about, oh, you have to say it exactly the same or you keep getting the dish sent back to the cook thing. So I find this much more realistic because you are an evolving person. So how can you have something that is the highest vibration that you want or whatever if it can't be living and evolving and growing? And anyway, so that was one I'm just blown away by, that's
Yes.
what they told.
And the nice thing about this, and maybe this is why people are resistant to write the things that they don't want or to do pros and con lists. This is kind of similar to a pro and con, but in this case, you are actually creating more of what you want to be resonant with you. You are creating an imprint in your vibrational field. So that way, when somebody comes to you, you have an automatic filter going on where somebody that's a narcissist isn't going to get through the door anymore because you don't allow it. So they can't even get there, because honestly, a lot of times it's not always this way, but if you're an empathic person, when you're younger, you have way less boundaries than as you grow and you get older, right? It's just the way it is. There are things that I put up with in my 20s that I would never tolerate today, ever. Like that, there's just lines in the sand. And that's why I think this feels like a living document to be changed. Yeah. The other thing about this list is the writing all the things you don't want is the way to bridge to what you do want, because people are a lot of times they're too, well, that's so much to ask. That's so much to ask. Well, this is how you do it, because you build your list off what you don't want, thing, right? And then that just dissipates. So, and you don't have to fight it anymore. Like, and that's another thing in your field. If you're fighting a vibration, meaning I don't want this, if that's always what you say, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, it's in your field. You will attract it.
Right.
So if you put it on the list and then you create the list that you're actually going to use, then see, it just goes away, because now you're focused on, I want somebody who can come and meet in a neutral place and have talks so that we're always in support of each other. Right? Instead of, I don't want a partner who refuses to talk about the issues.
Right.
And that's where you stay with it. Guess what? You're going to attract a partner who won't talk about the issues.
Right. But the bridge and allegory is so appropriate, because your negative list isn't the focal. Your negative list is the bridge to get you to focus on the
focus.
Yes. Very, very interesting. Very
interesting. Yeah. And so now they say back to you, Gina, your vibration for more of the type of partner you want has been more defined now that you have moved to New Mexico. So it felt very more defined, even like it feels your list is already more there than it's not. That's how it felt to me. We also advised, after writing and creating your list, do one of your paintings.
Okay, to bring the energy in.
To title it The Beckoning.
The Beckoning. Dang, I love that.
And it will be and it will be exactly what you are doing.
Okay.
So for anybody that's watching this, is it okay, Gina, if I give a little background to this?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Sure. So Gina does a very unique, beautiful way of painting. She goes intentionally to get the energy that she wants to bring into form into this reality. She goes into the ethers, into the where, and she brings it forth, and her paintings are incredible, and they have the vibration of what she's trying to bring through. And so that's what they're telling her here, because they know she can do this. It's something that she has the capacity to do. And they want her, once she creates her living list of what she wants to resonate with of her partner, they want her to go out into the ethers, find that frequency and bring it through. And that's why they're calling it the beckoning. It's really that part where you're really ready for it.
I love it.
And this is the other thing. You are beckoning your love, and he is closer than you think. Also, engage your spirit team into this as well.
Okay.
Request that your spirit team asks or like assists you in bringing forth the man.
Okay.
Then they say, we have so much to say, though this is the threshold for today. Questions are welcomed, and we love and are so proud of you.
Aww.
So they felt like how I felt like this is enough for you to do. They didn't want to give you any more,
Sure.
but I know if you have questions, they have answers. I also know that we're going to do a reading, more cards and stuff too. So, but this is where it felt like they were done with giving you any information.
Excellent.
Beyond. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you. That was so beautiful. I mean, and it's interesting because, you're reading, when you connect with my team and those, they bring forth relevant information as it pertains to me as an individual.
Yes.
And, even though I'm psychic and all that, and I have connections, it doesn't matter how good a connection you have. When it is about you, it's much more beneficial or unbiased if you have a friend or someone you trust who is a psychic who can help you get an unbiased reading or information, insight.
Yes.
And so that's why it doesn't matter how, I think, doesn't matter how high psychic you are, how great connection you have. It is always great to have somebody you trust to be able to go, look, I just need some more insight. I'm not getting it. Why am I not getting it? Why is it not? What am I missing? And that's why getting a reading from someone like you is, it can, obviously it can cut years out of a
Yes.
struggle, right?
Yes.
You go, oh, that was my missing piece. I knew there was a missing piece. What's my missing piece? I have my missing piece now. So you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's also why I love it so much, because honestly, when like you're going to ask some questions, I think too today, and I can feel into those questions. So let's say it's just, well, I'm not a supporter of I meet him in 3 months, okay.
Right.
Because time isn't the same on the other side as it is here.
Correct.
Obviously. And honestly, you get to change the trajectory at any moment. So
Right.
right now in this timeline, if you say 3 months and I feel into it, we could be changing it, or something happens and you're like, well, I need more than 3 months, like it's like this subconsciousy thing. But let's say you go, well, I meet them in 3 months. I can feel into that energy and say, most likely, yes. It's like I'm expanded. Now,
Okay,
if I get a close down, now it's like the close down is how I go with it. But even that can be changed. So if I get to close down, okay, why is it closed? Is it because they're doing something, or is it something you need to do?
So let's go through that and to show what, if you want.
Yeah, we can do
you
that.
want to do that and see where you get, and then that might bring me even more insight as to how to focus.
Do you want that question, that same question?
Well, sure. I mean, that just in case.
So I think you have more than two. I'm
Anyway,
not kidding. So they showed me a door, just a
yeah.
door, and then there's heads peeking out of the door, like, and it's almost like they're waiting for you to be ready, like you to say, okay, yes, this is what I am choosing now. So I feel like there's some fear left to get rid of, and I think this exercise or this list will help your empowerment. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask the question as if you've done the list.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get a very big, wide yes. I get open that yes, you will have men will start coming in within 3 months of you doing the list. Let me ask about the painting. The painting just that's what creates multiple people, multiple partners, multiple potentialities, even more so.
Usually, yeah, that's interesting because I when I do those paintings, I feel it, uh, and this term is a human word, but it cements it in
Yeah.
to the right here and right now, 3D, this world, this timeline, this in this relevance.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
I think you will do the painting. Doing the painting is your yes. That is your signal.
Wow.
Yeah. So do your list when you feel your list is as comprehensive or where you need it to be.
Right.
Because honestly, the beckoning can be the first stage of bringing that in. You can always adjust the
Right.
list. You can always make a second painting in the series.
Right. Or just paint more on
Yes,
that canvas. I think it.
you can do that so many ways that works for you
Yeah.
as the artist that you are.
Yeah.
So, but the the there is something hooking you right now. I can feel the hook of the potentials can't come through yet because there's still some residue to clean out. And that's okay. That's normal. That's not abnormal. Um and and honestly, they're also making me feel like, have you been in New Mexico for a year?
Yeah. Yeah. A year and just a couple months. Yeah.
Okay,
No.
because I felt like your being needed a break. You needed to be with yourself. You needed to take the time to do your daily stuff without influence, without worrying about another, without you needed the time where knew you could take care of yourself. You knew that you could make this huge life change and things get better and better and better and better. And you're moving forward and you're doing the things. So it feels like the pausing in your romantic life or love life is for those reasons because it actually is articulating you even more. There's also then becomes this point of I'm really liking my life right now. So if I invite a partner, that could all get toppled, but doing the list gives you that
Okay.
added frequency, that the way you're wanting to create. So it will creating the list is going to release your resistance. And then when you go to do the beckoning painting, that is when you tell the universe, okay, now bring them through.
Bring them on in.
Bring them on in. Yes. Yes. Have some fun, Miss Gina.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like it can be as soon as 3 months. It could be as soon as 2 months.
Wow.
1 month, I don't get that. I don't even think your energy field wants it in a month. You want to take your soul now really wants to do this. Like I can feel
Yeah, it
that.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
So it's almost like the sacredness of your soul says, this is how I want to begin my next relationship.
Yeah.
This is actually how your next relationship starts.
And thank you for showing me my bridge to get me where I want to go because I have been doing so much work on my person, just as you were saying. It was really my focus, and I was clearing out, um, old karmic, ancestral karmic, and oh my gosh, I'm a little tired of it. Actually,
Well,
And
and
I do,
honestly, at this point, when you get into a relationship, then you're gonna see the next layer because
right,
we really are growth beings. We are intended to continue to grow. I read something once and it stuck with me. You can do the same thing for 30 years, but it doesn't mean you've lived for 30 years. You just lived the same day for 30 years.
right.
And that I think we shortchange ourselves as beings because honestly, it's almost like at high school or college is where we're just, okay, I'm done. I'm an adult. I don't need to learn anything else. But honestly, we're never supposed to stop. If
Never.
if that is what your calling is, really, you know. And so when you get into a relationship, that list might change even a little bit more because now you have a new awareness that you've never experienced before. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm not really a fan of how this is going. So I'm going to work on it so that,
Yeah, and
or I really like this and I want more of this. I've never had this as in my experience. So
I
it's
think we
both
could.
works both that ways.
Yeah, I think we could expand on this idea of a living list a lot more. It is a area that is untouched in our knowledge base, and what has been brought forth. You know, as I think, as we, um, as a collective, are ready to receive again the next level. Like
Yes.
I think this is like a next level of, okay, before, yeah, you guys, we were trying having you focus because you guys were like not focusing. So you had to focus on the one thing and you'd say it over and over. Okay, now you're there, you got that. Okay, this is the next list. So this is the next level that we can, it's actually a living, being in and of itself when you start creating it. And of course, a living being is changeable and changes over time or whatever. And that is acceptable, in that intention, right?
Yes. That's beautiful. Yes. Yes. It's definitely a living it's a living creation.
Yeah,
And honestly, the best relationships are the relationships that grow.
for sure. You
You
can't
know,
have the static. It is, then it is not living.
exactly. Good
Yeah.
point. Good point. So, okay, I have my cards. By the
Okay.
way, I know your horse is a male, right?
Yes.
He came. He's here, just so you know.
Oh,
He showed up coming back on my right side. So, I mean, I was pretty sure it was a boy.
yeah.
But he is here. But I'm gonna focus on the cards for a general reading for love. And then I actually have a deck specific for love. So I'm gonna do that after this one.
Good.
So okay. So my first card is my Blue Ray Alchemy. And there's so much behind this card that there's a couple things that I want to say in this part. What you are doing is alchemizing yourself right now. This process is an alchemy process. So it's beautiful and it's gorgeous. And it's a Blu-ray. And I think we've talked about Blu-ray, whether you are a Blu-ray, etc. And then Oyante is this name, and I think it's my oracle name, so
Right.
yeah, there's a whole thing behind that. But this being the first card tells me that everything that we have talked about today is your alchemy process on how to create what it is that you deeply desire. Then I get the lightning strike. So that is a yes with an exclamation to the 90th degree. Time, basically, because we were talking time frames, I feel like this came up. And basically, this is on your time. Like however long you want it to take is how long it's going to take. It didn't feel like it would be within a month, but it did feel like from that point on, it's all up to you for how long.
A month and a day.
It certainly could be. I get the positive. So this to me it's a yes. It's an absolute. And also I like the idea of a second layer of this is you're adding to your life.
Yes.
I like that idea for that
I do
card.
too.
And then the this is my grounded card. This is This is sky, earth, deep earth, or this is surface, this is sky.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's upright. So this is a very grounding process. You are grounding into this
Mhm.
this 3D universe. This starts with this and ends with this. So this is your creation, your alchemy process, and this is anchoring it into this time frame, into the 3D.
Right. With the painting. Yes.
With the painting. So yes, what you're going to do, it's absolutely a yes in your time frame, and it's only going to bring positive. Your soul is actually excited to do this. I can feel your soul's popping right now. It's like, yes, let's do it. Let's go. Like, yeah, it's green
Get
light.
on with it, Gina.
It's a green light all the way through. And then I just pulled one card, and it's a hard card to see, but this is the red card. So I like it because we talked about red with your shirt, and it's I am. So you are recreating energies within your own root chakra here.
Great.
Right? So, okay. So these are my love. This is called the Love Story Oracle.
Okay.
Okay. So because of what we talked about, like there's more than one man here. I can feel that. There's more than one potentiality here, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, you could date a couple guys and see, okay, yeah, this one works for me, whatever. Yeah. It doesn't. Now, if that's not your tea, you can put that on the on the list and say, I just want to meet one. Like, I don't want multiple partners not partners, but
Yeah.
I don't want to date more than one person at a time. Maybe that's not your thing. So that's something you could put on the list. Like, I want to bring through one. Then I would just recommend your list be super detailed.
Yeah, but I have no, more than one guy wants to date me. Okay.
Well, one thing about you is fun is going to be important. Yes. And treated like excellent. Like that's, yes. Okay. So the first card is the confusion card. There's been, I love the colors at the top.
I do too.
Purpley.
It's a cool card.
This is confusion. This is where you were. I think now I do have history on you, so I can use that here. But I know with the last relationship, that was very confusing. You were in a really good place within yourself. Mm-hmm. And then it was kind of odd and it's just the lingering things but one of the things that I do want to, and the spirit is making me feel to acknowledge you on that you made a choice and you said, no, I want more.
I did.
I am willing to go without so that someday I can have more. And that's what you did. And they're acknowledging that.
Okay. That makes sense.
This is the forgiveness card. There might be some things to forgive with your ex-partners. There also feels like there needs to be forgiveness for your parents' relationship and how that affected you.
Okay.
And then also forgiveness of yourself for trying so hard, doing more than you really should have, where you should have walked out before you walked out there. Like, offer yourself some grace. But that feels like the most important, but there's still some residual from ex-partners and your parent. It does feel like a parental thing there too. That's pretty big. So they did the best that they could. It's not always easy, but what you were doing takes guts. Why I like this card is look at what's on it. It's the gift. You cannot get the gift without the guts in this process. I mean, you've had partners. You not having a man in your life right now isn't because of anything other than that is what you are choosing. Right. And so, oh, by the way, this is 9 too. This is a 36 card, so it ends in a 9. So what I feel like is your guts to take this leap of faith, moving to another state with really not really knowing anybody, honestly. And just you want it to be more of you. That took guts. And there's a gift in that. And that's what's coming. And look, the last card, this is so beautiful.
What?
It's open up. That's the process. That's what you're doing.
Yep.
It's also ends in 9. So it's the last step. This is your alchemizing, alchemine, whatever process. If you do this, this is it.
Okay, so this is the opening. Because I feel like, which is so good to bring you into it, because I've been feeling like I'm open. What? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not closed, but that this step is, again, this writing of my list, the starting with what I don't want, bridge to what I do want, focus on that, anchor it in with my painting, that having that is what is going to open me up. Like, it's because I have been asking. I'm like, well, what else do you guys need? I have tackled everything you brought up to me. I have gone Dark Night of the Soul so many times I've lost track. Seriously, the dark side and the shadow side, we're buddies now. I mean,
yeah. Hi, my old friend. It's nice to see you again. It's been a long time.
We get cocktails nightly and hang out and chat. But anyway, but I was like frustrated. I'm like, what else is there? I mean, this is all that I have known. That was like supposed to be it, right? But having been able to use you as a resource, that is what brought in that my specific answer to that question, and my specific process that would bring me to the place that I was like, come on, what else is there? What do I need to do? I'm doing it, right? This is what you, anyway, this is now, it's like I have a whole like homework assignment. Like, it's laid out, and this is it. This is what you do. You were asking, here you go. You're my, yeah.
And a lot of people, and I was a little bit jaded about relationships, and I was single for over 10 years and no intention of ever getting into a relationship. So of course I'm friends with a lot of spirit people who talk things like soulmates and twin flames, and I'm like, bleh. Like, all I see honestly is twin flames show up to be like
pain in the ass.
Yes. Are you sure that's a twin flame? Because I don't think they're healthy for you. Like, I never want to claim that. To me, you can have multiple soulmates. Our souls are ever growing. Or we're always unlearning or uncovering, or whatever you want to call it. So for me, soulmates, I really think a twin flame, I don't study it. I don't resonate with it, because for me, a lot of people use that as a crutch on why they stay with a partner that is not compatible to them, that is actually harming. And I feel so connected. Yeah, you feel connected right now because it's the wound they're touching.
Right.
That's why it's intense. That's why it's so deep. That's why it's all these things. Now, can it grow from there? Yes, absolutely. If they're not a narcissist, because I don't know if you can, I don't know if that can be fixed, but let's say your relationship isn't with a narcissist. Can it grow from that point? Maybe. Yeah. If both their parties are willing
to do their part. It's a partnership, not just one person.
No, correct. And so I always resist, like, if people ask. It was funny, I was going through all these readings that all my old notebooks, and so when you're plugged into the community, you get readings and you trade. And so I was going through all these readings, and they kept saying that I'd be in a relationship, and I'm like, I'm not even asking you. I don't even want, I'm not going to get in a relationship. And it was over and over and over. And the last one actually gave me time frame and whatever. Anyway, I'm like, why do you guys keep bringing this up? Because I don't. And because up till then, I had picked more, like, I would have said some of them were soulmate type, but that's because they were like a pattern that I I knew, I had recognized, I had allowed, or I had seen mirrored and, you know, mirrored that way and allowed. And so, yeah, I was like, no, not interested. And, but now that I'm in a relationship, the stuff comes up that well, I thought I was done dealing with that. Okay. I got to go back and work on myself. So it's a never ending attunement. And
For
so
sure.
when you classify somebody as a soulmate or a twin flame, I think you don't go to the work
Mhm.
because, well, of course we're to be together. We're going to be together forever because we're this. Well, maybe, but there's going to be work you have to do.
And I will bring up too. Oh, before I bring that the other point, I will remind you that I told you that it was there because I could feel you just like, heck no. And I was like, no, honey, it is right there if you wanted it. And you're like, I don't want it. I'm like, okay, just say it's there. Anyway, okay. So that being said, I just had to jibe, that little bit. Because that was a funny moment. I can distinctly, I remember where I was, what room I was in, and when anyway, I remember the very specific thing. But anyway, but that the other thing that I think that is necessary to bring up and responsible way of thinking about relationships is that there's no law that says you have to be with the one forever. There's
Nope.
like that. I don't know when that came into be, but it maybe that person is right for right now.
Yes.
But if you evolve and that person doesn't evolve with you, there's no judgment about moving on to someone who is compatible with the resonating level of vibration you are at that next level. I mean, anyway, I just thought that was important because
Yes.
people sometimes get stuck in, well, isn't it supposed to be one true? Well,
No.
you can have, like you said earlier, you could have 7 one truths
Yes. Yes.
at different stages of your life from your different vibrational level.
Yes. And the other thing is too, and I'm gonna touch into past lives right now. So some people believe in past lives, some people don't. I'm just acknowledging that. I tend to believe in them. So this is more towards the people that believe in a past life situation. If you think of, and if you talk with most people that believe that way, we're 300 to 400 lifetimes. Uh, I guarantee you've not been with one person in all those lifetimes. It's impossible. It's
Right.
impossible. So you could have 20 different souls that you have partnered with over 400 lifetimes.
Mhm.
So, yeah, love is always a gift. A partnership is always a gift.
Mhm.
It is something you cultivate, it is something you breathe life into. It is a choice.
Mhm.
It is not a reaction to somebody's frequency.
Mhm.
It is a choice to respond to someone's frequency.
Mhm.
And I think so that when people say soulmate or twin flame, I used to be believing in all that stuff. And I would look at my horoscope. Oh, who am I more compatible with? It's not really about that. I don't think it's about that anymore. I do think we have patterns and archetypes and things like that that make things easier.
Mhm.
But I think now it's more about our choice in the current time, in this moment, in this place. What do I choose? And I'm having a deja vu moment. So I don't know if we spoke like this already in one of our videos, but
I don't think so.
that's how I'm feeling about relationships. Relationships now from this time forward are intended to be choices. They're not just, well, I met this person, I decided to be in a relationship, and now I'm stuck for 30 years. 30 years,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So it is really a choice.
And,
And
and
then
and they can choose too. Your partner,
yes,
who you're in a choice, they can choose to move forward with you or
yes.
not. And there's no recrimination about that either. You're
No,
not a bad guy for choosing that or not. There's no judgment. Everybody gets to choose whatever they want to choose. But just because they're choosing to stay at this frequency doesn't mean you can't go, okay, well, I'm going to head on up the mountain. Uh,
yes.
that's
Yeah.
what I want to do. Thanks. really appreciated spending part of my life with you, and appreciate all the gifts you've given me of love. And but you want to stay here, that's fine. I'll just head on up the mountain.
Yes, the dissolvement of a partnership. We call it a breakup, but I like the dissolvement of a partnership. It does not
So
have to be horrible and traumatic and a horrible experience. It can be simply what you're saying. This is where I need to go in my life. And you're wanting to stay here. There's nothing wrong with that. You're entitled to stay where you want.
right.
But I am choosing to go here. And so like you said, thank you. And then because I also think it is becoming more and more common and more okay to be single. Honestly, I really do. I really think it's becoming an okay thing now, which it needs to, because that's, and I will talk about the difference between men and women here in this particular context, because you are seeking a male partner. So, it's always okay for men to be single for, till they're 40, 50. Nobody thinks anything, but a woman, oh my goodness, there must be something wrong with her. She's single. Women don't care that much anymore about, think something's wrong with me. I don't care. Like, I'm not willing to put up with, well, I got married at 19 and we were both so young. Like, we had no clue. We had absolutely no clue on how to partner or be in a marriage. Do I think my ex is a horrible person? I haven't talked to him in almost 25 years. So I don't know what he's like today. But would I pick him as a partner if I met him now? No, I would not, because fundamentally we had different ideas of how to be in a partnership, and different ways of handling conflict. I don't like the way he handled conflict. There's other things that, back then I wasn't strong enough to, once you got married, you stay married forever. Yeah. Now, no, that's just, and I think good relationships, good partnerships. I like the idea of a partnership way more than I like the idea of a relationship. But a partnership, the beauty of it, it's if you lead by choice. Every day I choose to show up for this person and our partnership. Can I change how I show up? Yes. Depending on what they need, depending on what I need. Yeah. So it's hard work. Rewarding. But
Yes.
Yes. So, honey, I think you got some love coming. I have Fergie, the singer Fergie from Black Eyed Peas. She did an album in 2007-6 called The Duchess. And there's a I got the love bug or something, and that keeps coming on me. So you've got the love bug. It's here. It's here for you. So, yes.
Yay.
Yeah. I love this reading.
This is fun.
Yes.
But it's been very informative too.
Good.
I mean, the finding, getting insight into my specific blind spot about what I needed to do, that there is a specific bridge that I can follow that will bring me there. If I do, that's just huge. It takes me out of this circling energy of what am I missing? What to, okay. So then I can just walk right on across the bridge. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's huge for me.
Yes.
To finally get what am I missing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge.
Yeah. Well, and I think I'm just spitballing back here because I'm just feeling the energy of this. And, I don't know when the first time I gave you your first reading how they talk to you about the process of what you can do with your paintings and breakthrough, but your life has changed dramatically in such a much better way. Not that it was bad before, right? But it's more in alignment with who you are now. And I believe it's because of the processes, because you've done quite a few paintings like that, where you went out to 2024 and brought back energies of that year into the painting. And you had intent. I don't even know how many paintings you've done this way, but your life continues to get better and better and better and grow and open and bring more into your life, the things that really bring you joy and happiness and things that you resonate with. Has it been smooth and no bumps? No. No. However,
Lots, yeah.
it's wonderful to see the steps that have appeared. You know that in it's the movie with Harrison Ford, the it's the last Indiana Jones and the last Lost Crusade or Last Crusade, where his father and they're in that temple somewhere, and he
Yeah.
puts the sand and the stones appear where he can walk, the path appear. That's what your paintings do in your life. They show you your path.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I love it.
I do too.
I can't wait. I will you come on when you do the beckoning? If you feel comfortable showing that painting.
Of course. Of
If you
course.
feel comfortable, if you change your mind, that's okay too. But I would love to show your painting because it's
Thank you.
I think we should do a show where we just show your paintings because I think that would be amazing.
Anytime. Anytime. I will mention the 2028. You know, when we were talking about how um, that you paint different one or paint more or whatever, the 2028 angel that I painted, um, she wanted, well, I never know what I'm going to paint at first, right? Like I walk to the easel, I kind of get an idea of the colors that want to be a part of it, but it is, I have no idea what's going to happen. And anyway, an angel evolved out of the painting. I just start putting paint on canvas, and then it just evolved. And I have her hung up right over here. And I painted what I thought was an ethereal angel, which is what I thought she wanted. And I set her aside and was letting her dry it. Every time I walked by, she'd go, "Hey, hey, come back! I want more. I want different. I want." So 4 times. She wasn't happy with her painting until 4 times on my easel. And then she finally was like, "Okay, this is it." And anyway, it's an interesting thing that these energy paintings evolve too.
That's beautiful.
It's crazy.
But I mean, I've seen them. I've seen a few of yours. They're like you can just feel it. Like I cannot imagine being in a gallery full of them. Like the energy would be insane.
It is. It
It
is.
would be insane to be in that space. Like
When I first filmed them I was on a video, or whatever. The camera fuzzed out by all the energy. It was the weirdest thing, like emitting from the paintings.
that's
The
amazing.
painting's energy caused the camera to just freak out a bit. It was weird. It was fun. I mean, I was like, well, and it was like an experiment because I did the energy paintings, and I brought up another painting that I painted before I started doing energy paintings, which I felt was beautiful, but the camera immediately went back to regular focus. And then when I brought the energy paintings back, it just
Could do it.
yeah, they're very, and I feel honored to be able to do that. But it is amazing how they are so vibrant.
Yes. And you know, I've seen a couple and you can just feel
Yeah,
you can just feel it. And so, yeah, I would love to see it when you do it.
sure, sure,
Awesome.
anytime.
Awesome. Okay. Do you want to talk with your handsome boy?
Yes, I do, because I'm torn. I'm not sure. I selfishly want him here with me in Santa Fe, but it is a selfish want because I haven't been able to find any place that has the only thing he wants in this world right now, in this life, is grass to eat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year long. We don't have that in this climate right here in Santa Fe. So I don't know. I wanted to ask him what was more important to him. Is it staying with his friends where he is in his paddock, or does he miss me? He may not, and which is fine. I'm not. There's no pressure. He
What is his name?
Galileo.
Could you have picked a better name for a horse? Like,
Oh, I know. It is him. It is him.
that's, I don't know if I don't know if I knew that. Like, I don't know. I think you always refer to him as a he more
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
his name. So, okay, let me tune into him. I mean, he showed up. He knew we were going to do this. So he's already here. Horses are, for me, even, well, Gracie, well, once I worked with Gracie, my dog, once I could hear her, then I could, but horses just show up so strong. They want to communicate. So he already showed up. So let me tune in. I don't know if this is customary in horse world, but he bowed his head and patted his right front hoof twice as greeting me when I said hello. So I don't know if that's something that horses do or not. I have no idea. I don't.
No,
I
but
haven't been.
that is Galileo. That
Oh, Galileo does that.
well, he has his own way. We've had lifetimes together, so
Yeah.
he's
Okay. So that was his first acknowledgement to me. He has a very similar signature to what's the horse that the famous horse
what. Give me a
in the movie with Diane Lang, the Triple Crown
Secretariat.
Secretary. It has a very similar energy pattern as far as he knows who he is, and he like thinks he's big shit. And I don't mean he's arrogant. He's not arrogant. It is this awareness of self. He does good things. Like, he's amazing. Like, there's something special about him beyond normal.
Yes.
So that is very similar. Like, Secretariat's very, yeah, I'm all that in a bag of chips. Like, it is who I am. Like, I won the Triple Crown, Okay. So Galileo has that same kind of frequency to him, but it's not in a mean way. Like, he might get frustrated no, it's not frustrated. It's impatient with you getting caught up with him. Yeah. But it's not this area. It's just like, come on, you should know better by now. Like, it's like, let's go. Like, he's got that kind of energy to him. Has it been 6 months since you saw him?
Yeah, at least.
Okay. He's telling me about 6, or it's been 6. Yes, he misses you, but you must visit at night, like in the ethers.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I ride him in the ethers. Yeah.
Okay. Because he's telling me and the beautiful thing about horses is that that is a big part of their world too. They are very attuned to the ethers. Mm-hmm. So he misses your physicality, but your soul is with him. So he's getting that part. Is he like 22?
Yes, actually. He just turned 22. That's crazy. You know that.
Okay. Are you thinking of selling him?
I've never thought of selling him.
Okay. Because because I asked that question, the answer was, if she sells me to someone, that she can come see me.
Oh, okay.
Like, it felt like that. So he's not sure if he would be okay living in New Mexico. He does like his grass. It's cool. He's worried more about the heat, honestly, in New Mexico than he is about the heat. Yes, Oklahoma has its warm season, but there's cooling off seasons too, and he likes that part. So I don't know how he does in the winter, fall, but he likes that seasony or that kind of weather. He wants one of your guys' contracts. He's very happy you moved to New Mexico. He can feel how much better you are.
Oh, good.
One of your contracts was to support each other. He offered you opportunities when you first got him that you wouldn't have had with any other horse, right? Yes. Okay. So he's actually fulfilled his contract to you That was the contract. You have filled yours to him. So nothing on a soul level needs to be done between you two. Now it's all about the enjoyment of each other in your lives. So he doesn't, right now, he does not want to move.
Okay, good. Okay. It's
He
good to
likes where he's at. He does want you to make sure you see him once a year right now.
have.
Like
Okay.
he wants you to ride him. Is he getting ridden?
No, he just gets to be pampered and live a life. He gets taken into the stall at night, so he's in, comfy, warm shelter at night in the barn, and then he's out all day. So
Do horses have do so you know how pets have collars with and you can
mhm.
put stuff on them? Do horses have personal stuff like that on them?
Halters, yeah.
Is there something you can put on that halter that has your vibration too? Can you infuse something
Oh,
and then put it on his halter, like a ribbon, a piece of fabric, or
yeah.
something?
I had never even thought about that, but I could somehow. Yes.
Yeah, and have that put on him. That would help him.
Okay.
Um, he doesn't want you to feel guilty. This is what you were supposed to do. This is the agreement that you two had. Like he was to help you, you helped him. Um, so he doesn't want you to feel guilty. He is happy with he misses your physicality. And that is something that I do want to talk about. I'm very in tune with a lot of spirits on a spirit realm. But I had listened to this woman that had like the clear seeing. She could see
Mhm.
spirit all from the time she was a kid. And her mom had passed away. And she was in such deep grief. But she goes, I didn't understand it because my mom was standing next to me. In spirit, she was right there.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden it dawned on her. It's not my spirit that is missing her. It is my body. It is my physicality is missing her physicality.
Mm.
And so there is a piece of that. And, when you talk to spirits that have been on the other side for a long time, they haven't come in, one of the things they always talk is one thing they miss about being, say, human is being able to touch each other, giving hugs. There's a texture to the experience that you don't get when you're in spirit, that is the one thing they miss. So that's how this feels. Like he misses your physical presence. Having you ride him, be having him going on your guys' rides was like this spiritual oneness
Mhm.
experience
Mhm.
in a physical body with the spiritual part on top of it. And it was this attunement, not even in tune. It's an attunement for both of you.
It was.
He does miss that, but he doesn't want you to feel guilty about that.
Okay. Okay.
So he likes where he's at. He wants to stay there. He is concerned. Do horses live to 30, 32, 33? Is that around the age?
Could possibly it's 20 late 20s to 30 to early 30s is
Okay.
usually.
Okay. There is a feeling I get that New Mexico may or may not be healthy for him
Okay.
at this point in his life. Now, if you find a place that offers grass or cooling stables, things
Mhm.
like that, that might change for you. But where probably I think he's getting the price point that you'd be able to afford at this point, and I don't think you'd get those extra amenities.
Mhm.
So he is better to stay in Oklahoma.
That is such a good thing to know
Yeah.
because you know, I know what I physically want, but that he's his own being, and he's my he's been my partner for 15, well, close to almost 20 years. No, 18 years. But I've had him since he was 4. He got me through my divorce. Just being able to go and we ground each other or something, and just being able to connect with him every day brought me solace and peace that I would not have been able to find without him.
He is also now telling me that you can do a painting and bring his energies through on a painting if you want. Isn't that interesting? You can name it Galileo, and it has nothing to do with Galileo, like
Right.
the
Right.
famous Galileo. But I just feel like you can bring his energy through in the same way you can send him um, a scarf or a piece of
Right.
fabric with your energy in it.
Okay.
Because there is that piece, that's what's actually you're feeling is the separation of your physicality now.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you two are connected.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can do so then his vibration will be active in your house. It doesn't have to be, you could even do a small one so you can put it on your desk or whatever, a smaller painting. It doesn't have to be a huge canvas, but the intention to carry his vibration.
Okay. That's
If
good.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
I want to ask him if there's anything else he wants to share with you. Okay, so again, did you guys have a special, like, how people have handshakes? Did you
Mhm.
guys have a greeting that was, or okay, so he feels kind of trickstery, like shitheady, like,
He does. Can I tell you, the horse would buck with me. Thank God I can ride. He would buck even when he was like 18. He would still buck all the time just to go, hey, like just to give me a challenge or whatever. I mean, and I'm like, you are 18 years old. Can we get past the bucking part? Is there not?
yeah, I like he's got a spiciness to him.
Oh, I have been, and I know this because I can feel it. We have been in war together. Like I know we were in battle, and we counted on each other um, in the battle to help each other out. And anyway, like that's the kind of relationship we have. Like my life depended on him, centuries ago, and his life depended on me, and I mean, when he first started, well, I would call it, okay, so for those who don't know, he's a hunter jumper, which means we jumped courses. And one of the very first shows, it was, I'm jumping this horse and I'm going, whoa, whoa. And this horse is like going, I can do it in 3 seconds. Let me just get it done 3 seconds. I'm like, no, we're supposed to take 30 seconds, not 3 seconds. And I was coming down the end of the arena and I'm laughing out loud. My trainer was down at the gate and she's like, what? I go, we're luging. I mean, I don't even like, those ice luging.
Oh, okay.
This horse was, I mean, I was standing in the stirrups trying to whoa him and he was jumping every fence and like, okay, we can do it in like half the time. And I'm like, no, that's not what we're supposed to do anyway. But I called it luging. He was just like, anyway, it was, yes, as spicy gets. This horse is
Yes.
so many times made me laugh. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But yeah, so
Yes, I really like his energy. He's not unhappy at all.
good. Okay, that's the most important thing for me.
Yes, he misses you.
Okay.
Okay, yes, that is absolute. Just in the same way that you miss him. But he's also happier with your choices that you've made,
Okay.
even though it meant that you guys are apart now.
Okay.
Um, so yes, he is happy. He does miss you, but he is happy. And he's like, no one gets me like she got me. Like
Yeah.
honestly. So there's a piece of that with him. Also, he wants to be part of the process of your beckoning. Ask him to help you with the beckoning.
Okay.
Not just the painting, but the process of bringing through that man.
Okay. Okay.
Like, okay, you go out on the spirit and you know what's good for me too. So,
Yes.
yeah. So have him work on that too.
Oh, cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. He wants to be involved in that because he wants you in a human partnership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my partner when my human partner was not a good partner. You know what I mean? Like he was that we worked together. We always had common goals. It was, we campaigned, on show circuit. And so, and jumping is very dangerous. So your life is in your horse's hand. Like they are partners, truly partners in the deal. So in one way or another, he was the partner when my other primary partnership was falling apart, and it was sad. It was a sad time for me. He filled that space in my heart, of needing someone to be a partner in a way. Completely different subject matter partnerships, but he was just that friend that
Yes.
he was my friend, and I mean, I'm forever grateful for him being my friend when I needed it so much. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. But so that's why I want the best for him. He gave me so much, and so I want to also make sure that he is as happy as he possibly can be.
And he is, and he says thank you for the acknowledgement. He also wants to acknowledge you too, because he said it took you being his owner for him to be able to be himself.
Oh, good.
Because he's not like other horses. Like, this is so, but he has something unique about him in his energy field. And you were strong enough to make sure it didn't harm him, but also strong enough to let him be free.
Yes.
That way as well.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot of acknowledgement there for that for you.
That's good.
And he also wants me to also say, this is the beauty of horses. Horses have a healing effect on humans, whether there are words passed between horse and human or not. Horses have a way. That's why equine therapy is becoming huge right now, especially for children, because you just be in the presence of a horse and they can heal so much within you. Mm-hmm. So he does want to acknowledge that. So for anybody who's stuck into this video to this point, if that's something you're ever attracted to, there are, we even have multiple equine therapy places in North Dakota, and this is North Dakota. So it's a beautiful thing. So he wants to acknowledge that there, and that's what they really want to also be part of with humans, is this collaboration where it's kind of like, have you heard of, like, in North Dakota, the Teddy Roosevelt National Park has wild horses?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've been discussing what to do because there's such a big population now. And of course there's two sides: get them out of the park. And then there's the other side where, like, no, let them run free. So being a horse is both of those. It's having the ability to be their free self, because they also remind humans that that's really what we want, is to have freedom to love, freedom to go on adventures, freedom to have new experiences. And so the horse energy brings that to us in our face, but it's gentle and it's loving. And most horses, their intention with humans is to elevate us, because then it elevates them. That's the horse collective. Mm-hmm. And I can feel that in him. Mm-hmm. Sorry. But I love him. I like his energy. He's just feisty, spicy, but then also loyal and caring. And yeah, I like him a lot.
I'm grateful to have him in my life. I'm completely grateful. He was, he's
sorry, I swallowed wrong.
No worries.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for him?
No, I just want him to be happy and know how yes, I want him here, but I don't want him here at the detriment of his happiness and well-being.
He's saying there's about 5 years, there's potential in about 5 years that there will be a place that might show up that would be compatible with him.
Okay.
So it's not he goes, it may or may not work at that time, but
Okay.
There's a 5-year window here
Oh,
where, and that might be price point. That might be lots of different things. It could be a different area in New Mexico you end up going to where
right.
it does, who knows? But he's saying it may not be till for his, but he's happy where he's at. He must have a friend. Does he
He
have a girlfriend?
Well, well, first, his pasture mate, his name is Buddy. So he has a buddy named Buddy.
I love that.
And Buddy is, his sight is not very good. And that was another thing. I didn't want to remove his, when a horse or any animal has a sight deficiency, they're used to their routine. They're used to their other horse in there, to help them get around. And anyway, so Galley is that for Buddy. But there's in the other side. So that's his Buddy is inside his own paddock, right? He
Okay.
and Buddy are the only two horses in that paddock. But in the paddock next door, there was a mare who they bred for racehorse babies. And I came out one time, he spends a lot of time, like he's thinking he's a stallion again. I'm like, honey, it's not been that way for a long time. That capacity has not been within your body in a long time. But so she ended up having a baby. She was bred to a race stallion and had a baby. And I came up and I was watching, and Galley, the baby was asleep right next to the fence, close to Galley's pasture. And Galley was like watching him so she could go and eat and away from, and so he was like babysitting.
Oh, that is so cute. Oh, that is so sweet. So is the mare gone now?
I don't know. I haven't. I don't know if she's still there.
Check into, because I haven't there's got to be another one because he's got a girl. Like he's got he's like, yeah, I got love. Like I think there might be another girl. If it's not that one, there maybe is a different mare, and he likes the women. He likes what he likes. But he also feels like he knows what to do. Like he puts them not pedestal, like they're better than him, but he cherishes them.
Yeah.
There's an energy of,
he's such a ladies' man.
okay. He's got this cherishy, they're different than men. Like they're male horses. He's definitely like, but he knows he's got it going on. Like, yeah, all the girls want me. Like, it's kind of like that kind of energy. I like he's so spicy. That's the best way to say it. And it's not arrogance. I don't know a better word, but it's self-realization maybe. That, yeah, he is like, if you want to share a girl and boy horse together, the girls want to be near him because he's protective.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. And it's all about me. Yeah. He shows off, like when we would ride, even when we weren't competing anymore, he was, I taught him dressage because that's a great way of creating a muscle in a horse that's very balanced. But anyway, so we did a lot of dressage, and he just struts, he throws out his legs, and he's just like, oh yeah. Oh, he's all about showing off. I
love it. I love him. Thank you for letting me bring him through.
Thank you for helping me I'm at peace now. I've been unsettled because, he has been such a part of my life that the ego me wants to have him still. And so, but I'm like, it's probably not best for him. And I just wanted to make sure. So you've really brought peace of mind. You connecting with him and asking him has really brought me a peace of mind that I have longed for.
Well, I'm glad and I'm honored. So thank you, because I like him. He's wonderful. So, okay. Do you have any other questions, Gina?
Oh, so much. No, I've just, thank you. It's been so enlightening and so insightful and so helpful to have you connect with me and help me in these areas, because these are the areas that I had huge questions about, and I couldn't seem to find my own path to the answers too. So thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for being willing to show this side, this piece, and help me put a video together for it. And it was, of course, my honor. I love to
Mine too.
do the reading. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording and then we'll talk shortly. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.